grab your two slip pocket pieces. I've used two different linings for mine, and put them right sides together and pin them at the straight edge. And we do a 1/4 inch seam on this one. Trim your threads again, and press it open so that the wrong sides are together. I find that if you roll the fabric between your fingers to line up the seams, it tends to help. And then give it a quick iron and top stitch along here with about 1/8 of an inch. I've ironed my slip pocket at the top so it's nice and neat. We don't want any of the lining bunching up. And I'll top stitch on that at about 1/8 inch from the edge. Go, nice and neat. So we've just top stitched our slip pocket for the inside, for the interior of the Sami Cross Body. Now we're going to find the center of the slip pocket. You can either fold it or line it up on your cutting board to find the measurement, and grab an erasable pen or chalk. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's about 6. It's 6 inches in. I'll just line that up again, and then draw a line down the center. Line pretty much actually goes along the pattern. Can you see that? There's all these grids on there because I'm using a military plain fabric to go with my camouflage fabric on the bag. We grab one of our lining pieces, our main panels. This one actually has the fleece on it, because in this pattern all the fleece or the foam goes on the inside because of all the small pockets on the outside. It's just a bit I find it easier to put it on the inside, and it doesn't mess with the stability of the bag. Okay, so place that on top of one of your lining pieces. Line up all your edges. Make sure it's all nice and straight. And grab your clips or your pins and clip it in place. Now I find that I just do this center down straight away, and then after that we sew on the sides to keep the sides attached. We just baste down the sides. So we're stitching our lining pocket, our slip pocket, to the lining main panel. Now I start at the top of the pocket and I use a top stitching stitch length. I'd use a 4 on my machine. Now we can either start right on the edge or just a touch down, and then we back stitch nice and neatly. Try not to go too far up over the pocket. Right, you want to try and get it right on the edge. And just follow your line all the way down. And this extra thread here, I know that some people will actually get a needle and sew that through to the other side so that you don't see it and you don't have to trim off there. It's up to you, whatever you prefer. And if you want that little bit of, I'm just going to take it off anyway, but because I have those lines, the top stitching line on the slip pocket, I'm actually going to go across that and do like a lock stitch or a back stitch. I can do, you can take it down to a really small stitch on your machine. So I was going to try, like do a 1 and stitch it right over that center. And then you can't even see it because it's over the top of your top stitching, and that just gives it that extra security. Especially if you're using your pockets a lot and you don't want that stitching to come undone. And trim up all my threads. And there we go. You've got your 2 pockets either side. And then we just baste down the sides of the pockets. And you go back up to a 4. I use for a baste also. Make sure I got my threads out of the way. And they're about 1/8 of an inch, or just come in from the edge of the fabric. You just want to stay in that seam line, which would be about, it's a 3/8 inch, so you've got plenty of room to work with. Okay, so I'm going to stitch the 2 exterior gusset pieces together. You go down to the wider end of the gusset and put them right sides together. You could use a pin to hold them in place if you like. And we do a 3/8 inch or 1 centimeter seam allowance on this. Fold it open and press the seam allowance to one side. That'll keep that stronger there where the stitching is, instead of opening up your seams. Stitch over this way. Now we're just going to top stitch to hold that seam in place. Now I'm going to do about 1/4 of an inch. And repeat that with your lining gusset too, okay? And put them away for now. So I'm just basting the connectors to the exterior gusset. Try and make sure they're centered. And you can do them as close to the edge as you want. Well, not right on the edge, but enough to hold them in place for when we attach the gusset to the exterior soon. It's very close. Nearly finished the bag. Okay, so they're done. We'll put that away now. And we'll be attaching that to the exterior.